All America, all the time. Sit down, buckle up, and get ready for The Dan Bongino Show.
There's going to be a lot of information in the first 10 minutes today. Going to be a lot of laughs. I don't know if there's going to be too many tears. It's Friday. You know, on Friday, I don't like to bust you up with too much bad news. We've got a lot of things that are happening from the Nothing is Happening file that's rapidly expanding. But I do want to get quickly at the opener of the show to a big thank you to the audience. A big double-barreled middle finger to the doomers, grifters, losers, and life zeros who just continue to get their asses kicked by this show. It's hilarious to watch. Me and the crew are enjoying every minute of it. You've heard, Andy, you've heard, we'll get him next month. We'll get him next. No, you won't. You won't get him next month. You won't. Pod Save America, Dan Bongino Show. See top 5 finishes and Triton Digital June podcast rankings. Thank you to the Bongino Army and to the doomers and shitbirds out there. I'm sorry, not sorry. You can go pee in your diapers, claw at your faces. There'll be no next month. We'll keep getting you next month, but you will do nothing. I also have a kind of a cool announcement for you, just to show you how this show is not only growing, and by the way, it is thanks to you. I cannot say this enough. Thanks to you. I can listen once. My team can listen 4 times, once each for 4 people. That's it. Throw in Jasmine, you get another one. The hundreds of thousands and millions of listens we accumulate across platforms is thanks to you. So we're expanding, which will piss off the doomers and the liberal media even more as we continue to dominate the conservative media landscape, which I hear the New York Times is getting ready to try and trash. Imagine the New York Times trying to trash a media out. That's really funny. That's a good one. Show you what I mean in a second by expanding. I think you guys are going to be very happy. Someone in the chat, does anybody know what we may be doing? You guys stew on that in a second in the chat. Hey, we talk all the time about paying attention to what's happening around you, but are you paying attention to what's happening in your own body? I am. I just had some lab work done yesterday. Super important. A lot of men don't think about cholesterol until the numbers are right there on a lab report. Then suddenly it matters. At a certain point, you look at your cabinet and think, when did this become my life? Another bottle, another capsule, another pill. That's one reason I love this company. I was a customer long before they came on board. Dose, D-O-S-E for cholesterol. It's not another pill. It's a drinkable, delicious daily shot. It's really, really good. Dose for cholesterol is clinically backed to support triglycerides, LDL, HDL, and total cholesterol levels. It's a gentler alternative with ingredients you recognize like coenzyme Q10, ginger, pomegranate, and amla. New customers can save 35% on your first month of subscription by going to dosedaily.co/Bongino or entering code Bongino at checkout. I had a fantastic cholesterol test. I use Dose. I love it daily. That's Dose Daily, D-O-S-E daily.co. It's a .co address. dosedaily.co/Bongino. For 35% off your first month subscription, dosedaily.co/Bongino. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA. They're not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. Thanks, Dose. We love it. I'm going to bring my bottle out here. Next time, I owe you one, Dose. I'd love it because I think we may be out. I think I may have finished it. All right, fellas, let's go. What's that? You wait for maybe Dose. Can you send this? Thank you again. It is now the 5th or something month in a row. You guys are awesome. We love you. So in order to pay back the audience, we're doing things like giveaways. You know about the 1776 Live Club. We're going to announce another winner today. We love that. Comment of the day. That's our gift to you because we deeply appreciate our audience and we want to show you. Talk is cheap, right? The do matters. I also want to show you by expanding the Silverloch media kind of empire we have here. Folks, I don't know how long I'm going to do the show for. Don't take that as like some bad thing. I'm not dying. I just don't know. Is it going to be 5 years, 10 years? I don't know. Life has a funny way of throwing curveballs at you. But this mission, the activist mission of moving the MAGA conservative agenda forward, I promise you, it's not about me. I'm glad to be a part of it, a small part of it, along with the Bongino Army. I'm proud of that. This is the biggest MAGA show out there. However, we're not the movement. The movement is you. I'm just a microphone, okay? It's not about me. It's about giving a pathway to other people like a pathway was given to me. I'm going to tell you something. I would not be here, and this is categorically true, although these two will not accept any credit because they're very humble about it, without Sean Hannity, Mark Levin, and I'll throw in Glenn Beck too, because Glenn helped me a lot early. I wouldn't be here. I've been doing this 10 years. They blazed the path for me. They let me guest host their shows. They had me on as a guest when nobody knew me from Adam. They're like, who's this Dan Bon Jovi guy? He's not nearly as good looking as Bon Jovi. He doesn't have half his money. He's not as talented either. They had me on. I feel like we've done the same for Vince Colonnese. Vince already had a great show, so I want to say we didn't make Vince. We just gave him a platform to show you how great he was. Haley, we introduced you to Haley Carani at noon. And same thing with Vince. I'm not introducing you to this guy, but we're adding him to the Silverloch family here, is our good friend, Sean Farish. Sean Farish live. I'm serious, man. I want to get like choked up. I'm going to throw my man card. I love this guy. Sean Farish is a super talent. Sean, S-H-A-W-N, for those of you who don't know him. F-A-R-A-S-H. Sean Farish will be joining us starting August 17th for his podcast, Sean Farish Live. Everybody, yeah, man, look at the chat blowing up. We love Sean too. He is the best. You guessed it. Who guessed it in the chat? 1 p.m. Eastern time, right after Haley's show, Sean Farish Live. Please do us a favor. Thank you guys for the graphic. Go to Bongino.com, our website, /Sean, Bongino.com/Sean, and please follow him on all the platforms we have down there, Rumble, Apple Podcasts. It'll look like this. You see the icons? Spotify, all of it. Please give him a follow. August 17th, he's going to be starting. And ladies and gentlemen, we're expanding even more. Doomers and grifters and losers, I know you're upset. We will have even more announcements coming forward in the future, which I know will piss you off. We love Sean. I'm excited. You should be excited too. Now, having said that, a little bit of bad news. I had a pre-planned event next week. It is a friend's wedding, a dear friend with an awesome daughter. It's been planned for a while. It is kind of one of a destination, so I have to travel. I will be out next week. Sean will be guest hosting the show, so don't miss it Monday through Thursday. So you can get a good flavor for what Sean's all about if you haven't met him. And we are really proud. We'll be launching a press release later. And I want to thank Paula, Teresa, Westwood, and my entire team for putting this all together. They did a ton of work. Paula has been working on this, ladies and gentlemen, for months. So is Westwood. So is my crew. Sean is the future. It's not me. I'm an old 51-year-old rotting piece of meat, okay? It's time to give other people a shot. Sean Farish, starting August 17th. I'm really happy about that. We continue to produce results and new content, and all my doomer, grifter, bum enemy, all they get is lawsuits and defamation suits. Winning feels great, doesn't it? I love it. Thank you in the chat for supporting them. And make sure you follow them on X too. Well, I want to show you what a good production team that put together this whole launch in conjunction with Paula and Westwood One. I want to thank them for making this all happen. They will be the sales agent on the show. Folks, I've been talking for a while about Jenny from the Block syndrome. It's Friday, and this is really, yes, it's kind of a political story, but because it's Friday, it's time to smile a little bit. It's Friday in the summer. The Nothing is Happening file is expanding with amazing new happenings I'll get to later, including record low jobless claims, not seen since before I was born in 1969. Believe it or not, the crime and homicide rates trending even lower than they were from the historic lows from last year. The border numbers down to 0 illegal migrants. These are amazing things. You can do the doom grift bullshit. Everybody's laughing at you. You look like a moron. Trump hasn't even been in office 2 years yet, and this is all happening. Everybody wants to play it down. And what do you got on the left? You got a bunch of Jenny from the Block syndrome people. You know J-Lo? J-Lo, I think she actually did grow up in the Bronx. Like, if she's, wealthy and rich and good for her. I'm a capitalist. I'm not knocking her at all. But J-Lo at least, kind of grew up in the Bronx. And, if she's going to do the Jenny from the Block routine, I'm down, she's probably not kidding. Now, I grew up in the city in New York and Queens. I'm not faking it straight out of Compton. Eazy-E wasn't my next door neighbor. I don't know MC Ren growing up. I didn't get into shootouts going up and rap about it, but I didn't grow up in the greatest part of town either. I mean, you can kind of check this out. My youngest brother witnessed the homicide in a pizza place when he was a kid, and they actually came to the house with a subpoena and had to pull him out. That happened. I'm not telling you it means that. All I'm telling you is like, I am getting so exhausted with the code switching on the left, with the voices and the different accents. You know why it happens, Jenny, from the block syndrome. Look, I'm down. Because when you believe in the new socialist hierarchy of victims, you have to constantly change who you are to fit into the new victim class. You can't be a successful entrepreneur because Bernie Sanders said millionaires and billionaires are bad people. So ironically, when you go in front of minority audiences, and one of the most racist things I've ever seen, you talk down to put up the Washington Post article, Guy Paul. This is a good one. You talk down to them, assuming Black and Hispanic Americans want to hear you speak in a different way and using different syntax and language because what? You think they're unsuccessful and won't understand you? Washington Post, white liberals dumb themselves down when they speak to Black people. A new study contends. This is from 2018. So I asked the guys, and they stepped up. I asked the boys here, I said, hey, fellas, you got to put together a Voices of the Dems thing. I had in my mind that Faces of Death movie remember Faces of Death? That crazy movie they played in the late 80s? And everybody was like, oh my gosh, it was like a viral thing before there was the internet, right? So we had Faces of Death in the 80s. Now you have the Voices of Dems. Hat tip to the crew. You deserve this on a Friday. Check this out.
Each other, anything is possible. So say it with me. Si se puede. The future is ours.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy.
First of all, it's good to see you in the new year. No one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now it looks like a little bit over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress.
Maybe because these people, they are crazy because they always talk about how Christian they is. Yeah, I don't know how many of them on that side are getting divorced because they getting caught up sleeping with their co-workers, staffers, interns, all the things.
There was times of economic opportunity. Wages rose until the 1970s.
I'm proud to be a bartender. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with working retail, folding clothes for other people to buy.
We campaign with the plan. Uppercase T, uppercase P, the plan.
Hello to all my divine nine brothers and sisters.
Let's just get through the next 64 days. Hello.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time.
Oversight, intelligence, judiciary are going to be taking up those matters through hearings and different investigation.
You know who I sound like? I sound like the people who I talk to in Michigan who are getting screwed right now by Donald Trump, okay? And I'm telling you, I'm at the fish fry in Detroit. It's a joyous day.
Wonderful job. Silverloch Media, Bongino Inc., Bongino Report, rumble.com/Bongino team, putting that together. Of course, that was Haley Stevens at the end, who I'm going to tell you is my new favorite. I was at the fish fry and her voice totally changes. Folks, the code switching is hilarious. Don't you realize, Democrats, we're all laughing at you? See, we don't have victim classes on the right. We believe in Motley's in the chat. Motley's in the chat. We don't have victim categories. So we don't have to pander to anyone by talking down to people and pretending we're dumb or we're stupid. It's only the most racist thing you can do to go in front of different groups of people and pander and talk down to them. Mutleys are tearing up the chat right now because you think they're stupid. Here's the kicker. We think you're stupid. You look like idiots. Don't you hear yourselves? We will be continuing this series, Andy, by the way, and adding to it, Voices of Death. You may want to add our VOG. I know Paula hates when I'm Voices of Death. Folks, it's so bad. You know, I love comedy. I don't know what my new thing. I got this orthodontist friend of mine, for years now. He keeps sending me comedy clips. And in the beginning, I was like, I don't really. Now I just can't stop watching half this stuff because, the world's a funny place too. We should laugh sometimes. It's good for the soul. Laughter's God gives. Comedy is funny again. I hope so. You can actually make jokes again without having some moron trying to cancel you, okay? I saw this and it made me think of this the other day, just coincidentally. The Key and Peele on Comedy Central with the whole, how you treat people differently depending on, the racial category or victim status on the left. It's bad when Key and Peele joke about it. Have you ever seen this skit they did with Obama? And then, wait, pay attention to the end. You'll think this is a continuation of the skit. It's not. It's the real thing. The exact same thing. Check this out.
Nice to meet you, John.
Mr. Ian Roberts.
Nice to meet you.
Peter Tencio.
All right. Nice to meet you.
Jerome Smith.
Come on, brother. What's up, fam? You know this.
Keith Williamson.
Like to
Nice
laugh?
to meet you.
Mary
All right.
Woodbury.
Nice to meet you.
Jay Martell.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Tasha Robbins.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Watch this one. Watch this one.
Feel that?
Watch
Emily
this
George.
All right. Nice to meet you.
Daryl Stokes.
Come on. What's up, fam? How you doing? All right. Never forget about that. 'Cause that's all we got. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. All right. Oh, bring it in. Start from the bottom, now we're here. Yeah. Nice to meet you. All right. Nice to meet you. All right.
Wait, watch this one. Watch.
1/8 black. Afternoon, my octoroon. Come on, bring it in there. Tuck that.
Yeah, I'm in there, dog. I'm in there, dog. I'm in there, dog.
You tucking it in there? But you tuck, dog. But you tuck, though.
Now watch. This is real. Watch.
Good to see you, man.
Got my vote.
The exact same thing. The exact same thing. And he's distant from that guy. This is hilarious. I'm gonna get makeup on this shirt. Poor love. Was it Brit? Do you think more Brit's gonna have to go? Folks, you don't have to do this. I told you, man. I told you the truth. I didn't grow up in Compton, okay? I grew up in Glendale, Queens. It was a rough and tumble town, but it wasn't like Crips and Bloods were shooting it out all day. I mean, what are you, ashamed of that? You got to be this Jenny from the Block character all the time? Folks, it's lame. It's just stupid. This is like one of those, remember when we were kids? Well, you guys are too young. For all the 50, late 40-year-olds, remember when we were kids, you had Schoolhouse Rock and all those things, and you used to have those just be yourself. Just be yourself, kids. It's not hard. You don't have to code switch all the time. It looks ridiculous. All this victimhood, folks, all this victimhood is nothing more than a distraction. It's true. It's just a distraction because this new crop of young socialists needs to isolate you from the truth so you don't actually look at what socialism is. So if they bog you down in you're black, you're Hispanic, people hate you, the Jews did it, the evil white capitalist did it, the hedge fund guy did it, rather than focusing on your own life, you don't actually look at what they're proposing. It's a total distraction. Remember what gaslighting is, getting you to believe some bullshit like socialism's going to cure society's ills. Gaslighting is lying to people, lying often, lying confidently. Now they're like, wow, this lie is real. But also isolating people from the truth so they can never do their homework and find out what you're telling them is bullshit. The way they isolate people from the truth is obviously the media covers for socialists and pretends they're all good and decent people and socialism is about fat Bart eating a dinosaur. Sharing is caring. That's not what it's about. But they isolate people through the truth by lying to them and making sure you never look up the numbers. I saw this yesterday again with this imbecile up in New York, Mamdani, who I think right now is overtaking AOC as the single most dangerous politician in America right now. because I can't believe how many people are falling for this guy's shtick. Here he is again yesterday. I want you to listen to this. Mamdani's definition of socialism. He knows this isn't true. He says now, or just to be clear, libraries, guys, you think the first library pre-existed the socialism, the socialist revolution? And libraries are centuries old, precede. What do you mean? Where people gather to read books is socialism? If you believe this, I'm sorry, you're a moron. Put the crack pipe down. Crack is whack. Fire departments are socialism too. The fire department we have a couple down here that are just volunteer. People just show up and do the right thing. A lot of people put their lives on the line for no money at all. That's socialism? And then here's the kicker. Public schools are socialism. Not a legislative decision America made a long time ago to fund public schools. And they suck. That's your example of success? Listen to this moron. This is what it looks like when you isolate people from the truth. Check this out.
If you go back to some of the Democrats that we most admire, FDR, LaGuardia, you will see a lot of democratic socialist principles in their vision. And if you think about a lot of what we've come to accept as just the facts of life across our country, a lot of it is also still driven by democratic socialist principles. Now, if today you and I were to introduce the idea of a building that lends out books for free, we would be slandered in the same way that so many new ideas are slandered today. And yet that's the library. And the same thing with the fire department, the same thing with public schools. And it's to say that a lot of politics has been a debate about who deserves what. And I would prefer a politics that debates how we can deliver that to everyone.
Okay, moron. Public schools and fire departments are decisions made by the consent of the governed to allocate pools of taxpayer money to resources. Socialism is the government control of all of the means of production. Does the government go out and own the company that builds the fire trucks? No, it's not socialism. However, even if you choose to be a moron, cue up that Andrew Branca one. I'm a little out of order, but this Andrew Branca did a great hit on this yesterday. Even if your stupid, backwards, completely wrong, factually incorrect definition of socialism, wherever taxpayer money goes, is in fact socialism. Fat Barney, sharing is caring, right? Even if that were true, public schools are your model of socialism success? This is from the Andrew Branca show. He gives you some numbers here about their success model. Apparently, there are 30 schools in Illinois, deep blue state, where not a single kid can read at grade level. It's the public school system. You had one job. Twitter meme. They don't use hashtags anymore, but you had one job. Nobody in the school can read. And this is your success model. You think I'm making this up? This is Mom Dummy. Oh, socialism, great. Public schools. Hang your hat on that one, dipshits. Check this out.
40 Illinois schools with 0 students who can read with proficiency. 0. And they don't put it on this chart, but I read the article. I read the study. There's another 30 schools that literally, out of the entire student population, have 1 or 2 students who can read a proficiency. They couldn't include them in the 0 chart because they actually have 1 or 2 kids who perform at proficiency within the school.
Holy Moses. Did you hear this? Justin, you went to school, right? Last time I checked. Justin's graduated. Justin's out of school. Justin, right? There's always that one kid in school who's like a super genius. And whether you teach him anything or not, he's going to go home and learn on his own. You know, when we were kids, remember the Rocky movie? What do you think we are, nerds? When they tell the kid that's your dad, he's like, yeah, I know. There's always like the nerd in the class. The nerd, by the way, is probably making $1 billion right now. And a lot of people are working for the nerd people made fun of. However, back in, you want to be like the edgy, rough kid in 8th grade. You don't want to be like the nerd. The nerd's the last one laughing, but there's always the nerd. How the F is it in Illinois schools that you manage to make the nerd stupid too? Even the nerd can't read? What are you doing, Frida? What are you doing? John, help us. What are you doing? This is your model of socialism? Dear morons who follow this, That's never occurred to you that even by your own definition, you suck. You suck. Major. My water's so. Nobody can read. What the hell are you doing there? Just give the kids a comic book. You don't have to pull up Superman #1. Pull up some shitty comic like Iron Man and Power Fist. Nobody read that. You can't even read that. This is Mom Dami saying, fire departments, libraries, public schools, it's all socialism. Really? By the way, can you look this up? Like, didn't Carnegie donate the library in New York? Like, he was a capitalist. Oh my gosh, how are you falling for this shit? I'm going to show you, by the way, this teacher put this video together about AI, and I'm going to show you why these teachers' unions and the public education system is completely losing their minds and melting down over AI right now. But this teacher, I'm going to show you, if this is real, this guy deserves like the Nobel Prize. I'm going to show you, Andrew Carr donated over $56 million to build 2,509 public libraries worldwide. Carnegie was a freaking capitalist. Karl Marx didn't donate the library. Some lady, I'm not sure what that. Oh, that was the surprise. All right, quick break. And I'm going to stay tuned because I'm telling you, if this video of this teacher is real, then man, Nobel Prize immediately. How he caught a bunch of students using AI. Stay tuned. Hey, you ever thought you should be doing more to protect yourself online, but you're not sure where to start? Here's what you need to do. Go to joindeleteme.com/Bongino. It's important. Enter code Bongino. Delete Me removes your personal information that's being sold online. You don't want it there. Get rid of it. In today's world, your data is everywhere. A quick internet search can reveal your home address, even your phone number. But Delete Me can help by removing your information from hundreds of data broker websites. As someone with an active online presence, I like knowing there's a service helping me reduce my exposure online. Take control of your data today. Keep your private life private. Sign up today for Delete Me, now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/Bongino. Use promo code Bongino at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/Bongino and enter code Bongino at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/Bongino, code Bongino. Act today before it's too late. Today's show also brought to you by Bond Charge. You know I'm a big health hacker. As you get older, you got to take advantage of every little health hack outlet you can. Bond Charge has it all in one spot. They're a holistic wellness brand dedicated to helping you perform at your best. Through science-backed tools inspired by nature, they combine ancestral principles with modern innovation. The result? Smart solutions to help you improve your sleep, help with your energy and recovery, and overall life balance. You've heard me talk about Paula's love for the red light face mask. It's amazing. She looks incredible. But my favorite product from Bond Charge is their infrared sauna blanket. The power of sauna, look it up yourself. Amazing. The Bond Charge infrared sauna blanket is a total game changer. It heats up fast, takes under a minute to set up. You can de-stress after a long day. That's how I use it. Use 30, 40-minute sessions. You can read a book, watch TV. It can help elevate your heart rate like a light workout, ignite a deep sweat, and leave you feeling calm and recharged. Love the product. Vouch for myself. Bond Charge ships worldwide, offers free shipping, a 12-month warranty, and HSA, FSA eligibility. Go to BondCharge, BONCHARGE.com, and use code Bongino to save 15%. That's bondcharge.com. Use code Bongino to save 15%. Check it out. Get on it today. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA. They're not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. Thanks, BondCharge. First, I just want to show you this. This video clip of this teacher, again, Nobel Prize, if this is a true story in this work. This is how he caught his students, or some of them, cheating on an exam about AI. Freaking genius stuff. Check this out.
32 of my 35 students between two classes failed a portion of their midterm because they all used AI to generate their entire response. And apparently they didn't proofread it. Let me show y'all how I picked up on it. So this discussion post was a portion of my students' midterm. And if you look, it looks normal, right? But if you copy and paste this and look closely, in white ink, I hid place the word Madagascar somewhere in the response in a way that makes no sense. But if you uncopy and paste it, you can't see it. So if Madagascar was somewhere in my student's response in a way that did not make sense, I knew that they copied and pasted the entire thing and just threw it in AI. And oh my God, you would be amazed at the bizarre usage of the word Madagascar that I saw in these students' assignments. First and foremost, Madagascar has nothing to do with the Industrial Revolution. Second, it was more than obvious that they didn't even go back and reread these responses. So yeah, 32 out of 35 students failed a portion of their midterm, and that's how. So students, if you're going to use AI to generate the entire response, at least reread it. At least try to ensure that it makes a little bit of sense. Try to put it in your own words, something.
This is absolutely brilliant. How does it fit into the show here? You know, I don't randomly throw clips in there. Thank you to that gentleman right there. That is a genius idea. I suggest all teachers give that a shot. Folks, he clearly is not a partisan. He's just talking about education, so divorce him from that. AI scares the academic community for a number of reasons. One of them is because of that students will not use it as an assistant, but as a surrogate brain so they don't have to think themselves. That's a real problem we have to address. And it's going to take clever strategies like that going forward. However, the biggest problem with AI, which I have hammered forever for the last 5 years or so, we saw this on the horizon, you can look it up yourself, has been liberal interest groups, liberal union groups as well, pushing AI companies to be woke and give bad answers on things like what is socialism. They are terrified that if students do use it as intended, as an additional learning resource, that they'll start asking questions in AI like, hey man, has socialism ever worked? Are police shooting tens of thousands of unarmed black men a year? They're afraid AI is going to tell you the truth. Hence this tweet. The American Federation of Teachers, led by a bunch of lunatics, is now freaking out as they're starting to figure out that AI is the ultimate fact checker if it works correctly and does logic and reason. So what are they doing? Check this tweet out. They're squeezing these companies to embed, quote, DEI principles, i.e. wokeness, into AI policies and tools used by students and teachers because they can't gaslight you if you've got an assistant kind of surrogate brain out there telling you what's true and what's not. Because to gaslight you and get you to believe in false ideas like socialism is fat freaking Barney the dinosaur, you have to isolate people from the truth. And you can't isolate people from the truth if you can't control AI. Now, you may say, well, Dan, what's the difference between old school, internet and SEO, search engine optimization? Folks, the search engine logarithms in the past, Google and others, were already woke, and nobody went past the first page. AI doesn't give a shit about the first page of a search result. Quality AI looks at the entire body or corpus, if you want to use big words, of information, like John Brennan, on the internet and gives you a distilled version of what all the facts say. It's completely different. It's the difference in the Fox News revolution when they came on the air in 1995? You had news before. Fox News didn't invent news, but they ran news basically 24 hours so that not everybody was getting the liberal news at 6 o'clock every night their time from Walter Cronkite and Tom Brokaw. And all of a sudden it opened up to the entire corpus, John Brennan, of information out there. And people started to change their minds. That's why they're so freaking panicked about AI. They can't control the first page of a search engine anymore. Does socialism work? You'd go to some left-wing search engine site. It would say something like, socialism, freaking great. It's Fat Barney the dinosaur. It's like public schools, and you'd see Mamdani. You didn't hear about the 45 million people murdered under socialism under Mao Zedong. The tens of millions more murdered under Lenin, Stalin, Pol Pot, all of these fascist communist tyrants. You didn't hear about any of that. That's what they're afraid of. They're not going to be able to do stuff like this anymore in the future. Hat tip town hall. Here, You saw Donald Trump did there, President Trump, the speech on Thursday exposing a massive infiltration, agitprop operation in the United States by China and others. You saw in New Jersey, huge, enormous failures in the voter system we've been warning about forever. The Democrats aren't going to be able to hide this anymore. Here's Town Hall, hat tip to them, put together a video of Democrats swearing to you. The New Jersey illegals, 6,000 plus that were registered to vote illegally. You know what? That stuff doesn't happen. Really? They can't run away from this anymore. Check this out.
There is no evidence that undocumented migrants vote.
We're debating a problem that does not exist.
This is a solution in search of a problem that does not exist.
The evidence is almost no illegal immigrants vote. Some benign effort to tell the small number of illegal immigrants.
The reports show voter fraud is exceedingly rare, but there's a couple things we know about the administration.
Citizen voting in federal elections is already illegal.
There is no evidence of fraud or corruption because we don't have a problem with illegal aliens voting in the country.
It's not an issue that you have undocumented people in mass numbers voting. You know.
Very, very rare instances, but then just make the bill workable. But
it is absolutely vanishingly rare.
There's no evidence that non-citizens are voting.
I think they think that it's already against the law for...
Are talking about a solution to a non-existent problem. Again,
foreigners do not vote in our elections. Maybe it's partly about the SAVE Act, which is a ridiculous solution to a problem that does not exist. Foreigners do not vote in U.S. elections. That's the fact.
It's already illegal for non-citizens to vote in the United States. They face prosecution and jail time for doing it. The Save America Act attempts to solve a problem that does not exist.
Folks, AI is going to observe, cull, and distill the entire internet, and you're not going to be able to hide videos like this anymore. The Democrats have isolated you from the truth forever. And now all their bullshit is coming out, like the media now vomiting this stuff up on the left. Like, oh, well, voter fraud doesn't exist. Well, it's small. Well, it doesn't change any elections. Well, it changes some elections, but not that many. Well, it doesn't change a federal election. You notice how they keep moving the goalposts. One of the other ways they isolate you from the truth at congressional hearings is they'll get called out on some bullshit. And then the second they get called out, they'll say either reclaiming my time or they'll completely ignore it and change the topic. This is quick, but I saw this yesterday. This California rep is questioning Mike Waltz, the Trump ambassador to the UN. Mike Waltz knows this stuff. Now, she brings up gas prices in California. In California, some of the highest gas prices anywhere in the United States, regulations that have murdered people at the gas pump and with their wallets, just disgusting. She's got the balls to bring up gas prices. Watch how she just rapidly changes the subject when Walls is like, wait, you're in California. Like, is this a case of the for real? Are you for real? Check this out.
My constituents who are paying on average thousands of dollars more a month in costs because of this war would beg to differ that our economy is not impacted by the Strait of Hormuz being closed.
But California imports much of its oil and gas, unfortunately, because of its own regulations.
Yeah, I want to talk about the national average of gas, actually.
That was great. Don't address that at all. The lack of refineries, the enormous amount of red tape to pump a single drop of petrochemicals out of the ground. Don't address any of that. Just lie and isolate California residents from the truth and blame the entire thing on Donald Trump as if California's $4,000 a gallon gas price is Donald Trump's fault. And she just moves on. You're not going to be able to do that anymore going forward. Now, socialists, I know, listen, a lot of you are just dumb. I'm sorry. Like, stupid's a choice. Don't be a SIAC. Stupid is a choice. You don't have to be a SIAC. You can make the choice not to be stupid, too. Your choice. You could just go to AI or actually do some homework. You could get a degree in something outside of women's studies or whatever, basket weaving, whatever the hell you're doing, and actually do some homework and research. You don't want to. Let me ask you this simple question about socialism, though. Folks, remember I was at Bill Paxton line at Aliens? Stop your grinning, drop your linen, like drop your linen, whatever you're doing right now. Here's a very simple question about socialism. If socialism is Fat Barney the dinosaur, sharing is caring, then why do you have to force people to share? Stop and think about that. If it's so wonderful and everybody loves it so much, why do you have to, at the barrel of a gun, use the government and the IRS under threat of arrest to force people to share? People who give to charity don't have to do that. Why? The answer is because people who give to charity voluntarily and give to others do it because they want to, and they feel like it's making someone's life better. Even liberals, bullshitters and liberals who tell you, tax the rich, we should all pay more in taxes. Taxes are a great thing. Why don't you pay more taxes? They'll tell you if you put a beer in them. Remember the old green grenades, Heineken? Throw a few Heinekens in them. I guarantee they'll tell you, the government wastes money. Nobody believes in that shit. I know. It's a Friday feel-good video. I saw this video out of North Carolina. This guy who sells firewood, he hears from this lady who's apparently really poor, very cold in the house. She needs some firewood. I don't know this guy. I never met him. But notice how he doesn't need the government to tell him to do the right thing. Your socialism is so popular, you don't even want to pay higher taxes. You have to have someone come to your house and force you to do it unless you'll get arrested. You don't give anything. You do everything you can, you leftists, to not pay taxes. Watch what this guy did for this North Carolina woman. This is what actual sharing looks like, not socialist sharing. Check this out.
This is Nana Abernathy. I was going to let you know that we're going to give you this load of wood for free. I ain't coming back for no money.
You ain't going to?
I ain't going to charge you. I'm going to let you have it for free.
Thank you.
I know you said that you was having a rough time, and that's what we try to do. We try to help people out, and I wanted to bless you before Christmas, and we're not coming back for no money.
That's the nicest Christmas present I could get.
It's all for you. Can I get a hug?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. I hope you have a great Christmas and a great holiday, and I hope the Lord blesses you.
Okay.
Okay? You have a good evening.
Did.
He just did. That's right.
Thank you.
Yep. I'll get you took care of, and we'll get this dumped out right here for you.
Okay.
Listen, man, I don't know that guy. What is he, at Paul_Team BTS? If you're listening, you saw up in the upper corner of the thing that had the icon on TikTok. But if you can go buy your gas from someone or your firewood, whatever I don't care what he sells. I don't care if he sells 5-cent sticks of bazooka gum, although I'm not even sure they're 5 cents. Just buy it from that guy. I don't even want to make a political argument over that guy. That guy just did. I don't care what he is, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to show you what real sharing looks like. People who want to do the right thing and help people out, give to charity, give to, we give to our daughter's school, and because we think it's going to benefit the next generation of kids. My daughter doesn't even go there anymore, and we still give money. It's not, folks, I don't care. It's not about, I'm not looking for anybody's pat on the back. I'm just telling you, we do it because we care. We built a computer lab over there, but my daughter doesn't even go there because I know it's not going to be wasted. People know instinctively you give money to government bureaucrats, flush it down the damn toilet bowl. Flush it down the toilet bowl with whatever left your body because that's where it's going. It's going to make some fat cat government zero rich, and they're going to piss it away to some NGO who all they care about is a political agenda. The gifts of a perfect timing. The gifts of socialism. And by gifts, you know what we mean. Folks, Piers Morgan is not a MAGA guy. Can we all agree? I'd like to go get information from all over the interwebs, okay? I saw this tweet he put up yesterday. Ask the same question I just posed to you. If all of this tax money you want everyone to pay is doing such goods for society, why don't you give more? Here's Piers Morgan, no conservative, by the way. If people want to pay more tax, why don't they just pay more tax? Because they don't. They don't want to pay more because they know it's wasted. Flush it down the bowl with the results of your cyclospora infection. That's where it belongs. Whenever government spends money to give to people not to work, it's not even that it doesn't help them. It hurts them because it encourages them to not add any value to society and sit on their ass, and it destroys their life. It happened to a family member of mine. The second they got on disability, and some people are disabled, this person wasn't. It had a good shtick, and then that was it. Life was done. That was it. It was disgusting to watch. To watch this proud person, all their dignity taken away. By the way, you think I'm making this up? Here we go. Here's AI. ChatGPT. How many people across the United States? The country's what? 40%, 45% Democrat/liberal. Country's 330 million people. So you figure factor out kids. I don't know. Figure, let's downplay it. Figure there's 20 million hard liberals in this country, like progressive, that love to pay taxes because taxes are so great. Why don't you just give money to the government? There's a way to do it. Put up that thing that I did this query on my phone. This is ChatGPT. The U.S. Treasury is a fund for people who want to voluntarily pay higher taxes. What's the most amount of money it's generated in the past 50 years? You want to know the largest number? Fiscal year 2012. $3,277,369.23. Who gave the 23 cents? $3 million. You're telling me the country has 25 million liberals. There's more than that. I'm downplaying it. There's way more Democrats. And all they managed to donate was $3 million. If all of them gave $1, it'd be 25 million. But you don't. Because you know the government gets flushed down the bowl with the results of Cyclospora parasite. That's what you know it. Stop bullshitting me. Stop bullshitting others. Everybody sees through your nonsense. Sharing is caring, but I don't want to share my money because you're full of shit. You may say $3 million is a lot of money in a multi-trillion-dollar federal budget when 30, 40% of the country swearing they want higher taxes, but they won't pay them themselves. Just pay more. You frauds, you fakes, you disgust me, you phonies. You want everyone else's money because you're lazy bums and you don't want to work. Get your ass out of the seat and go to work. We got to talk about income distribution. It's called a freaking job. That's the income distribution center. Go get a freaking job. Remove your ass from your couch, Fat Barney the dinosaur, and go share your own money after you earn it, you lazy bums. That's a lot of money, $3 million. Really? One guy gave one guy, a free market guy, gave $6 billion himself to the Trump accounts. And I assure you, he's not a far leftist. Oh, you doubt me? Look up the article yourself, Fox Business. You know Michael Dell from Dell Computers? Evil capitalist, I'm sure, folks. He voluntarily gave $6 billion away. $6 billion with a gift to seed the American dream for millions of kids. Liberal dipshits, why can't you do the same? Why don't you just give it to the government? Reid Hoffman and all these other lefties, George Soros, just turn over your billions to the U.S. government. Why don't you do it? Dell just gave a bunch of money away. Sharing is caring, right, Fat Barney? Sharing is caring. Just go. You can sing this song too. Have Barney join you. Why don't you do it? Because you're full of shit. You're full of shit, and you know it. The good news is I do believe we've reached peak stupid. I do. I know a lot of you are skeptical. You're like, no, Dan, of course it can always get dumber. The thing about reaching peak stupid is not that stupid disappears. Folks, we're human beings. There's always going to be like there's always going to be an intellectual bell curve of people who just don't want to do the intellectual work and people who do. Always. There's always going to be a class of dumb people. Always. The thing is, when dumb people hijack 51% of a society, like they did in the Obama-Biden years, you got a problem because they impart the stupid on you and force you to say stupid stuff too and do things like, hey, wear this mask, it'll stop COVID. Really? The mask? That's crazy. I told you, it's like the condom where everybody you have sex with gets pregnant. Everybody wore a mask, got sick. And yet we were like, wait, why are we doing this again? Because 51% of people fell for the stupid. Peak stupid is over. This show went off the rails a long time ago. That's why it's still popular. Don't worry, Doomers, we'll get them next month, I'm sure. They'll get them next month, guys. Definitely be next month. As their audiences shrink and shrink and shrink. I want to show you what I mean by we're past peak stupid. Typically in the past, you'd get a billionaire, was a trillionaire, for a little bit after the launch of SpaceX and all these other IPOs. You obviously all know Elon Musk owns X, Tesla, all these amazing companies, made a ton of money, was at PayPal, has just been an entrepreneur and just thinks big, right? He is definitely not a communist. He's the anti-communist, okay? He's being interviewed by this media person. And again, she tries the peak stupid thing. Like, man, I can't believe you believe in all these crazy radical ideas. And Elon just says to her something real simple like, hey, sister, it's kind of weird because if you were to play speeches Hillary Clinton and Obama gave just 10, 15, 20 years ago, they sound like the people you're saying are crazy now. So who's crazy, you or me? The lady, of course, has no answer because the peak stupid days are over. And thanks to Elon for buying X, for allowing us now to expose peak stupid instead of getting banned for telling you things like the mask ain't going to stop COVID. Check this out.
Go back 10 or 15 years, and these policies were completely normal. In fact, one of the tricks that I think is funny. One thing that's quite funny is to like take a speech from Obama and Hillary, and then go to someone and say, who's sort of on the sort of what I call the lunatic left, and say, what do you think of the speech by Trump? I'm like, oh wow, he's the worst person ever. Actually, that was a speech by Obama, or actually, that was a speech by Hillary.
I agree. No, I agree that the center of gravity in this country has shifted. Certainly, the Democratic Party shifted to the left, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people like Rupert Lowe. I'm talking
right,
about
please.
people.
It's actually just normal people. It's just normal people. It's just normal people, and and here are the principles. And tell me which of these sound terrible. That we should have secure borders. That we should have safe cities. That we should have sensible spending. Which of those three are far right fringe? And I would like to just admonish you and the media for the absurd characterization of the far right. It is false and misleading and nonsense. Please keep this part in.
We'll keep all of this in. But
just annihilates this lady. Totally eviscerates any shred of human dignity this dopey, silly clown of a, quote, journalist thought she may have had. He just asks a simple question. What's so crazy about, like, borders, crime control, not going bankrupt through excessive government spending? Like, well, what's so crazy? I don't understand. What's so crazy? She has no answer. Folks, I'm telling you, we have reached peak stupid. You're on the other side of it now. I'm not telling you peak stupid and stupid, I should say, are going to go away. The idea of men in the women's room, men in women's sports, defunding the police, it's going to pop up like whack-a-mole, but it's getting ugly now. Did you see what happened with that alleged reporter from USA Today who wrote that ridiculous, hilarious, comically stupid article about WNBA basketball player Caitlin Clark and Emmett Till, who was brutally murdered in a racist incident? If you're thinking to yourself, what the F do those two have to do with each other? Just ask dipshit Nancy Armour at USA Today. She's figured it out, folks. This woman is being mocked. I'll get to Portnoy's tweet, last break of the show. And it's like Dave Portnoy from Barstool just eviscerates this absolute moron who is being mocked across the Twitter sphere, the Snapchat sphere, the TikTok sphere. 10 years ago and 5 years ago during peak stupid, wear your mask, it'll stop COVID. This is the kind of stuff that would be celebrated. Oh my gosh, she really nailed it. The brutal racist murder of Emmett Till is the same thing as getting called for a hand check in a WNBA basketball game. What? What, bro? What? What did you just say? Portnoy, thank you. Because we need people with big accounts to mock these people. Remember Alinsky's rules. There is no potent response to ridicule. Mock them. But Dan, that's morally, but no, it's not. Not in this case. It's the right thing to do. Mock them and laugh in their faces. Nancy Armour should never write another piece again. Or if she should, it should be considered comedy and sarcasm. Hey, let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policy for some brokers, that's the finish line. You get a handshake, a commission, they're done. You may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. Well, your business runs all year, and so do the gaps and the risks. That's why I'm introducing Super Sure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just buy a policy online. SuperSure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and for your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English so you can see what's covered and what's not. Plus, they have another great tool, the Business Value Calculator. You can estimate what your business is worth and know what needs protecting. So go to supersure.com/Bongino today. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. That's supersure.com/Bongino, supersure.com/Bongino. Consult with a licensed insurance producer to discuss coverage options for your specific business needs. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency. Thank you, Supersure. We appreciate it. As I told you, this was Dave Portnoy's response to that ridiculous clown article in USA Today comparing an atrocity to a foul call in a WNBA game. Congrats to USA Today's Nancy Armour. She's written the dumbest paragraph, not only of my lifetime, but in the history of sports. It's an article that says Caitlin Clark arguing foul calls become dangerous for the WNBA and civil rights. Nancy Armour should be out in a straitjacket and locked up. We can't have these types of smooth brains roaming freely in society. Folks, let me tell you something. He absolutely nailed it on this. It is clown time in the media now. And the most potent weapon you have is ridicule against these idiots. It's Friday, so I got some good news for you. I got a Make America Healthy Again segment for you. Haven't done one of those in a while. Very important, folks. Don't get dead. Don't get dead. Of course, don't get dead in the next 5 to 10 years. Well, I can't control it. Well, you could try. Stop smoking, limit your alcohol, have a good time, whatever. I'm just telling you, it's going to be important. Don't miss the Make America Healthy Again. But I want to get to this. Folks, we do have a lot of good things happening. You know, the nothing is happening file. We have the doomers, the bums, and the losers and the grifters just constantly, whether they're paid or not, because they have no lives and never volunteered to serve. They suck at everything. They sit on their fat Barney couches all the time. They pretend to be MAGA. This guy sucks, that guy. No, you suck, bro. You suck. And I'm glad we kick your ass every single day with this show. I'm laughing at you. So is this entire audience. You goofball clowns. Nothing's happening. Really, I'm going to show you what's happening. You got our nothing is happening because it's expanding rapidly. We're going to have to make like extra file shelves. We only have, 2 shelves there? We're going to have to throw a third one in there, like get AI on it. The nothing is happening file is growing by the day, by the minute. First, I want to show you this from Axios. You know, like the federal government, law enforcement, cops and stuff. It's really good that we go arrest bad guys, right? Well, what happens when you arrest bad guys? Get ready for a revolutionary idea. The Trump administration came in, us at the FBI, DEA, U.S. Marshals, ATF, all these other outlets over there. The Trump administration was, I got an idea. Let's go arrest bad guys with the excellent state, local, and territorial tribal police officers out there. And what happens when you arrest bad guys? Holy Moses, this is crazy. Folks, nothing happens according to the doomers. Believe it or not, even after last year, when I was there, record lows in crime rates and homicide rates, it's going even lower now. The media hates this story, by the way, because it's the Trump administration. Axios, change in select violent offenses between 2019 and 2026. Look, they're down even more. That minus number means they went down for the liberal morons watching the show. Carjackings down, 51%, 41% robberies, 31% homicide. That went down, and less dead people. You have the rest of that there? And they've gone down even from last year's historic lows because we implemented a bunch of changes. They are revolutionary. This was a genius idea. I'm telling you, Stephen Hawking, you know what we said? We went in and we said, hey, I think we should arrest bad guys. Oh my gosh. Wow. Homicides are now on track to hit their lowest rate in more than 125 years. Of course, the Trump administration will get no credit for this at all because it's Donald Trump. If the trend holds, Axios notes, it must kill them to put this out there. Pun intended. Homicides would fall below even last year's historic low, dropping to levels not seen before 1900. Of course, the doomers and the bums, Fat Barney and the slobs and the others out there with their defamation lawsuits, the PR agents out there, this stuff doesn't matter to ordinary Americans. That's why your show sucks and no one listens to you. Because I assure you, someone out there gets their kid shot up in a gang war, who's now their kid doesn't get shot up in a gang war, I promise it matters to them with everything else. Here's another piece of good news you're probably not going to hear about. It's got to kill these media people to cover this. It has to, but they can't ignore it. Jobless claims. In other words, people unemployed filing for jobless claims falls to a historic low. Ladies and gentlemen, we haven't seen jobless claims fall this low since 1969. I wasn't even born yet, bro. 1969. I thought nothing is happening. You listen to the doomers and the gloomers. Everything sucks. The world's falling apart. Nobody's getting deported. Everybody's sitting on their ass with their thumb up, doing nothing. I don't understand that. How did all this happen? It was just luck. It was just luck. Just lucky Trump. Just lucky Trump. Trump's just sitting there playing blackjack all day, and you have nothing. It's all just luck. These are numbers. There he is. Lucky Trump. Here's another one. Geiger Capital on X. Look at the numbers at the border. By far, Trump's biggest accomplishment, Geiger Capital. He closed the border in 48 hours, and it still isn't being discussed enough. After 4 straight years of record-breaking illegal immigration, we now have the fewest illegal crossings in 50 plus years. You know, you can look this up. I thought nothing's happening. You ever notice the paid ops, the slobs, the porkers out there in zeros? They're always complaining and they never acknowledge any of this stuff. It's almost like they want to destroy our movement because they do. Because they do. They want you to not vote in the midterms. Why? Because they want to blame President Trump, hoping the Democrats win and go, look, that guy destroyed the whole Republican Party. No, yes. I love when they say too, you're just a cheerleading. I'm just reading to you. Is Axios cheerleading? I'm just reading to you the data. I asked you yesterday, do facts matter? And if facts don't matter to you, then why not? Then what does matter? You watch the podcast, The Stand Doomers, every single day is a new conspiracy about how someone in the Trump has been trying to F you over. Do you ever get tired of being lied to? All right, we haven't done a Maha moment. And we got a new winner to announce today, too. Hold on, we'll get to that in a minute. We got a new winner to announce in our 1776 contest. We're going to get to that, so stay tuned for that. But I haven't done a Maha moment in a while. You know, we have those shirts, and one of the Dan Bongino Show motto, someone sent us like a Bongino Show rules thing. It's in the green room in the back. And rule number 1 of the Dan Bongino Show, don't get dead. If you're doing something helping you to get dead, like advocating for socialism, where you're going to wind up in the gulag, tortured, hung, drawn, and quartered, it's probably a bad idea. But like smoking and all that other stuff, listen, I'm not telling you not to have fun in your life. I'm not telling you don't enjoy a glass of wine or some alcohol on a Friday night. I am not telling you that. Matter of fact, I have said repeatedly, I think entirely divorcing yourself from the social lubricant effects of alcohol with friends, I think is a huge mistake. If you've got an alcohol problem, then stay away from it. If you don't, and you're responsible and you're not driving, this isn't a Saturday morning lecture. I'm just telling you, like, I'm not mad at you, but probably shouldn't be drinking every day, smoking every day, all that stuff. Enjoy a cigar, whatever. But don't get dead. Folks, that's maybe the greatest picture of Bobby Kennedy. You should get that too. Like that, they should use that. Whoever put that together. That's a great pic. We love Bobby Kennedy, right? This is our Make America Healthy Again moment. All I'm telling you is in the next 5 to 10 years, AI is growing so powerful that I gave you some of the bad sides before, but one of the good sides is there are diseases we have now that there is a high probability, not a guarantee, but a high probability that if you have cancer, HIV, hepatitis, some really lupus, destructive diseases that are ripping your body to pieces, there is a very good chance that there will be a cure in maybe less than 5 years. You need to stay alive. Remember Last of the Mohegans? One of my favorite movies. Stay alive, no matter what. I will find you. AI will find you. I had cancer. It sucked. 2 thumbs down on Yelp. Here's the great Dr. Rhonda. Who's the guest on this? I forgot the name. Daria. All right, I'm going to have to stick with Daria. I can't pronounce it. Sorry, I don't want to mess up the name. I want you to listen to this where he says exactly this. Like, if you can just hang in there for the next 5-10 years, it's going to be a totally different world. Don't get dead. Check this out.
I've heard you say if you could try not to die within the next 10 to 15 years, you might want to try to do that because you could live an extra 50 years.
And it may not even take 10, 15 years, might be even closer. The reason is that the technology, especially because of AI, is expanding exponentially. So our minds think in a linear term. So we think that the next 10 years is going to be as much advanced as the last 10 years or the last 15 years. But that's not what's going to happen. In the next 10 years, you can think of it as more advanced than the last century. So imagine that you were living in early 1900s. And somebody told you that, we're going to have vaccines and you will never get smallpox or you won't die of tuberculosis. People would laugh at you. So that's not possible. So that's the speed that we're talking about. But there's something even more important because of this acceleration. The advances of treating diseases is also going to accelerate dramatically. So we will get to a point what's called the longevity escape velocity. This was coined by Aubrey de Grey. So I think this is probably the most critical time in human history. So try not to die for the next 10 years.
Well, member of the McGroin Army, Bump McGroin says, well, listen, my 401k will run out if I live till 150. Hey, Bump, I'm not even sure that's the case. Go watch some of the videos of Elon Musk talking about robotics and AI in the future. How productivity, in other words, the stuff we produce, medicines, housing, cars, is going to get so cheap that what you considered a luxurious gift 20 years ago, whatever, a Cadillac Escalade is going to be like the shittiest car on the block now because technology is going to get so cheap. I'm not even sure that's the case. I don't know, man. I'm just an optimist for the future. Smile, man. It's a Friday. It's also time for some Make America Funny Again stuff. We got Democrat Zen coming up in a minute. However, is this real? Help me out in the chat. Is it real, guys? I saw this online. I don't know if this is real or not, but did you see the guy behind Trump, President Trump, at the Trump rally? This was going all over the internet yesterday. Put this on, give it a little box next to me here. Check this guy out behind Donald Trump. This is real. This is hilarious. If not, it's damn good either way. Check this out.
History of our country, and Americans are working today more so than ever before. We have more jobs today than we've ever had. This is with this skirmish we have with the Islamic Republic of Iran. And I call it that
guy?
Because let me tell you, they're getting hit so
Someone
hard.
get that guy some tea and crumpets, man. That
But
is hilarious. But he's got the
to make a
mannerisms down. If you're watching or listening on Apple and Spotify, please check it out here. Again, before we get to our winner of the day, our winner from last week, our comment of the day, and our winner from last week, producer Jim, who we love over at the radio show. And hopefully we're going to have some big announcements coming forward about even more stuff, doomers and gloomers. You can pee in your diapers, claw at your faces. Now, he loves these, but I don't see them before the show. It's the one component of the show they surprise me with. Do we need a language alert? Let me just give it a language alert in advance, even though I haven't seen it. Because last time they told me no, the guy dropped 10 F-bombs. This is that peaceful Democrat Zen moment we leave you with on Friday. Again, I'll be out next week. Sean Farish will be in. Sean will be launching with us August 17th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Sean Farish live. Go to Bongino.com/Sean, SHAWN. You can follow him on all the platforms, Rumble, Spotify, Apple. Give him a follow. Support the next generation of talent. He's it. But the older generation of talent is me and producer Jim. And here's Jim's Democrat Zen moment of the day and week. Check this out.
Your Democrat Zen moment of the day. A peaceful moment to center your mind.
Get the fuck out of my face! Get the fuck out of my face!
Wow,
This has
glad we
been
gave the
Democrat
language alert
Zen.
on that. Man, Justin's like, I'm not sure. How are you not sure? Did you even watch the clip? Probably. Language alert. I don't know. The lady doesn't say anything that's not an expletive in there. Oh, okay. All right. I'll give him a pass. For Bongino Army folks in the chat, I know you love the producers too. They said, listen, to be fair, this was cut like a week ago because last week it was like a somber kind of, we didn't have time for them. So he didn't know. But yeah, that's why we give a preemptive language alert. All right. First, you want to do the winner first? Week 2 winner? Let's do that. The week 2 winner of our 1776 Live Club, who will win $1,776, is Star Wars fan 1977. Studio fireworks going off. Don't set off the fire alarm, the halon. He said these aren't the illegitimate votes you're looking for, of course, after discussing Donald Trump's speech Thursday night. Star Wars fan, congratulations. Star Wars fan 1977. I know your presence in the chat with Lynn and Jeff and the McGroins and all the other, Anita and all the other great the loyal folks out there who watch the show every day. Thank you for giving us really the honor of being one of the top podcasts in America. We appreciate it. And that was week 2's winner. The comment of the day for today is, that clicking sound means put up the comment of the day. Okay, good. Can't find McGroin. These McGroins, okay, you can't find it. Look south. The Bongino show will continue. There should be a spell check in these things. Can't find, we're with you though. I do it myself. I'll just add the end. The Bongino show will continue until morale improves. If you're a P1, by the way, you get all this stuff. If you're not, you may be missing it, which should incentivize you to watch even more. We always used to laugh about that shirt I saw at Great Adventure when I was a kid. It's a Six Flags park. I don't know. I was like 10 years old. The guy had a shirt on. The beatings will continue until morale improves. That's socialism. The Bongino show will continue until morale improves. Coming from Dan Bongino. It was Buongiorno. And my grandparents changed it when they get over here because they thought it sounded too Italian. You think they would have changed it to like Burns or something? Bongino. Like you could put that on a pizza place and it's totally believable. I love my grandparents. They'd be like, Grandma, what's the deal? Like you couldn't find a different, because remember the Italians were discriminated against back then. They went through a lot. They were hardcore. All right. Again, put up the picture of Sean Farish. Help him out. Follow him on X, August 17th, 1 p.m., Bongino.com/Sean. You can always check out Haley, part of the family as well, rumble.com/Haley, live at noon. Vince, every day, the king of morning podcasting, rumble.com/Vince, 8 a.m. Eastern time every single day. Please download the Rumble app. We would really appreciate it. It is free. You can watch the show live. Jump in the 1776 contest. See official rules at Bongino.com/1776. You can watch on your smart TV, and you can go to the web, rumble.com/Bongino. Justin put together a new graphic. It's got like sound effects now, too. I'm very proud of this. He clicked the follow button. We really appreciate it. Again, I will be off next week. Sean Farish will be in. I will see you the following Monday. Please tune in to Sean. Support him. He's a great talent. We love him. I'll see you a week from Monday.
Hey there, I'm Vince.
I'm Haley Caradia,
Host of Vince.
host of Scrolling with Haley.
You can always catch my show right here
on the Bongino Report.
live, 8 a.m. Eastern, weekday mornings.
Weekdays at noon. If you miss it, no worries. The show will always be
right here
and anywhere you find podcasts. Thanks for watching.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month, even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tears.
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.